Dr. Navarro, when we sit here and we do these shows, I'm not in elected office, and we sit here and we say we need to do something because they keep putting us in jail, they keep censoring us, and then, by the way, when they can't put us in jail and when they can't censor us, what do they do next? What's the next step on the tier of escalation? They turn to gunshots. And that's what took Charlie Kirk away from us. Walk us through what the left in this country did to you, and not a long time ago, just last year.
Well, let's start with the first chapter of I Went to Prison So You Won't Have to. It starts at Reagan National Airport. It's the D.C. airport. I'm on my way with my fiance Bonnie to do Mike Huckabee's show, right? Love Mike. First time Bonnie was going to be in Nashville. It's going to be a great time. We're having the time of our life. Next thing we know, we're walking down the gangway. We got 3 armed FBI agents come behind us, 2 in front of us, including this guy, Walter Giardina. I'm in handcuffs, later in leg irons. Bonnie's perp walked out in front of the world. CNN's got the story before everything. Now, what's wrong with that picture? Well, first of all, misdemeanor. Second of all, not a violent guy. Bonnie's not a violent gal. Third of all, I literally lived right across the street from the FBI, like 50 yards away. They could have easily called me. But what they try to do to us, Jack, is humiliate us to the world. And when they went in and got stuff from Jeff Clark, they scared the hell out of his kids. In my case, it was the woman I love. It's like, what's wrong with that? And so I went to prison so you won't have to. Is this story of how you go through this justice system, Jack. It's like I was like astonished. It's like by the time my case got to the jury, the judge, the Obama-appointed judge, had stripped me of any defense. My defense was executive privilege. According to 50 years of Department of Justice policy across party lines, it's like if I got a subpoena from Congress, it was my duty as a senior presidential advisor to refuse it. It was my duty. And suddenly I'm in court and I can't even argue that. If I said the word executive privilege, the judge was going to put me in jail for contempt of his court. So it was like, okay, what's that all about? And then the worst thing that happened in terms of like, I mean, the book is like, it's Kafka, it's Stephen King, but it's also a lot of Catch-22 Joseph Heller. Like, for my case, when I got convicted, sentenced to jail, what they should have done is release me pending appeal. That's the legal term, release pending appeal, because not a flight risk, and it's a major constitutional landmark case. It's still on appeal. It's going to the Supreme Court. It will be reversed if there is any justice in the world. But they put me in prison, and it was three judges on this appeals panel in D.C., which is a cesspool. 2 of them are named Patricia Millett, Cornelia Pollard, right? They said flat out, no, he's got to go to jail. There's no appealable issues here that could change the outcome. Okay, fair enough. Now, fast forward, my appeal is ongoing as we speak in that court. Guess who the same judges are who's going to hear that appeal? It's like Pollard and Millett. They've already made up their mind, but now they're going to do it again. It's like if you think the judges are drawn randomly and courts are fair. And this is so destructive, Jack, to our society, because it's like the Congress used to have the lowest approval rating in the American public, but now it's our justice system as well. These are politicians in black robes. So I get to jail, right? It's like, okay, how's this going to go? And, I'm finding people like there's a couple of guys in there who are in there for many years, who had their houses taken from them, who will have to pay restitution, and their family is suffering, and their lives are essentially over. You know what? Guess what? They did effectively the same thing that Lisa Cook, the Fed chair, is alleged to do. But with Lisa Cook, it's like the left legacy media and all that comes to her defense. Oh, well, she needs a fair trial, this, that, and the other thing. The boss can fire her. He can do that. But this is like she's going to skate, and real people without power go to jail. Another one, Jack, I don't know this, the RICO Act, right? This is how the RICO Act was designed to get a small class of like organized crime. And the Justice Department has run rampant with it to get all sorts of people. So there was a number of CEOs in prison I was with who they were convicted because, according to the RICO Act, they didn't have to know or be part of it because they were CEO. They should have known. Now, why am I mentioning this? Because, look, James Comey, who was effectively the CEO of the FBI, he knew what he was doing with the Steele dossier and the FISA Act and Flynn. But even if he claims he didn't, under the RICO Act, he should be prosecuted anyway. So we got a system here that's just weird. I mean, in the book itself, look, there's some instances about how I saved one guy's life in there. There's broke up fights, did negotiations. But the big thing is, Jack, I went in there, and the First Step Act is a signature piece of prison reform legislation that Donald Trump passed in 2018. And I found out firsthand that that wasn't being implemented. Now, I'm the first one to be tough on crime, but if you keep nonviolent first-time offenders in prison longer than their expiration date, according to the law, bad things happen. Like you get a higher rate of recidivism, and it's about $5 billion to keep people behind bars longer than they should. So I had there's a whole side plot there. And of course, the story between Bonnie and I, how families handle this stuff. I mean, it was like,
well,
go ahead.
And no, I was going to say that, think about this. They took you, who committed no crime. You exerted your privilege as a White House official to not discuss these conversations with the president to the Jan 6 committee, and they threw you in jail. That puts a toll on you. It puts a toll on your family, on your loved ones. They stripped you of your right to life. That's what that is, as well as your right to freedom, your right to movement, your right to speak publicly, of course, in all of this. Not only the toll that it took on you financially, just in terms of legal fees and all the rest, and the toll that it takes, again, on your loved ones having to go through all that. And that was just 4 months. What they've done to Erica now, in this case,
it's brutal.
That's the rest of her life.
The rest of her life. And
the
her kid's life.
That's their life, completely.
Yeah. Completely
gone. Completely robbed for them. So where do we go to get repayment for that debt? I don't know. But I look at these D.C. Republicans many of the time, and they don't seem interested in doing anything.